I am going to read something that's fairly new. I want to start out by sort of setting the stage on this poem. At the end of July, Chris and I celebrated 6 years together, which have been wonderful, happy years for both of us. Part of what we experienced together this summer when we took our vacation was a trip to Walt Whitman's birthplace. And as poets, it was a very inspiring visit. Chris loves Whitman. I didn't know very much about Whitman until I started hanging out with Chris and learning a little bit more. And I loved it. He would read Whitman to me sometimes. We sort of have a ritual of Sunday morning poetry reading back and forth. And it was really a wonderful thing. So when we visited Whitman's birthplace, it was for both of us this sort of moment in time. So to celebrate our 6 years together, I wrote this poem for Chris based on that experience. And some of the lines here in this poem are Whitman's, and some of them are mine. I won't stop while reading it to tell you what's what, but if you're familiar with Whitman, you certainly will know. Whitman was referred to as the good gray poet. The title of the poem is The Good Gray Poet, for Christopher, July 27th, 2013. I sing myself. My eyes are burning from the south. Canada geese amid dogwood blossoms. Somber men wait as I harbor for good or bad. The creek runs with the pink waste of war, wombs revealed by a revolution of words. Their souls are starbound, every leaf a miracle in the cardinal's mouth. Please braid the rope for our bed, tie the knots and fill the mattress with the magazines you've finished clipping. You could live right here, learn the ways of the caretaker. I will tend the roses while the boy picks fruit for breakfast. You will write it all down, and more until the good gray poet visits your dreams, takes your hands and whispers, "Come, come, let us write, for we are one tonight." Thank you. So our next reader is my new hero. She is the incredible moving woman of Vancouver. And I only say that because in case any of you are going to move in the future, I think her fees are a little steeper after helping us. But she was incredible. We had Jenny Power and Lori Loringer and Miss Raymond Knight, who just worked her ass off for us on Sunday, and we really, really appreciate it. Raymond, come on up.
And I'm just a farm girl. I've been writing the novel for some time, and Toni's been editing it. It's not nearly done, but I had an inspiration for the end of it, which is a poem. A 14-year-old girl has this poem. She's a character in the story. Her name's Oceana Rose. She has it channeled to her from Sacagawea directly. Now, does everyone in here, a little history lesson, know who Sacagawea is? Okay, Lewis and Clark, not Pocahontas, not that Smith guy. Okay, Sacagawea came with the Corps of Discovery with a little pomp on her back. This is called Sacagawea's Song. I sing across the shining mountains. I was once free as the grass blowing in the wind. I was Shoshone. They named me Bowie Naive, grass girl. As a child, I was captured by a Hidatsa warrior and spirited many moons toward the rising sun. At my new village, they taught me to plant and reap and obey. Later, I was won in a gambling game by Charbonneau, a French-Canadian trader. And when I was with child, 2 great white chiefs, Long Knife and Red Hair, came and told of an adventure they were on. I longed to go. My child Pum, new to this world, was the youngest in the Corps of Discovery, in search of the waters of the setting sun. We would make white man's history, and I would live on as Sakakawea, named by my Hidatsa captors. In your 21st century, you honored me with a golden coin and renamed me Sakakawea. Your historians swear that I died young, even though our oral tradition tells that I lived to be old. Does that make sense to you, Sacagawea snake girl who endured your people's greatest journey? Give up the ghost too soon? Think again. I loved adventure. I traveled among the tribes, fell in love and brought forth more papooses, and lost my Comanche brave in battle. Heartbroken, I returned to my own people, who by then were at Wind River. Sharing my story for many years, my people, the Shoshone, renamed me Paripo, chief. They wrapped my body in skins and planted it in the earth at Wind River. My spirit glows free. The white people can call me what they will. They made a golden medal to honor me. My spirit glows free.
We're going to hear next from one of our regular readers, Grace Valentine. Grace, come on up.
Hi there. The madness of poetic compost. Where is the freedom when one fears the potential impact of their words? Are we, this lost art, not challenged to provoke, to inspire, to set the world ablaze in luminous ferocity? I want to feel not merely the tip of my toe, cautiously testing this body of water or that body of water, but to plunge head first, all in, fully committed. Timid women rarely make history. Unleash your inner truth. No longer content to cower in the shadows, recounting missed opportunities to contribute. Show up, eager to expose light to unbridled deep wounds, scrubbing and sloughing off dead layers. Yes, this is painfully torturous, but a necessary dying, such that new life might emerge. Cast off the shackles of projected silence and quiet not the inner prophet. Though many may wish to bind your mouth, to climb over you in their ascension, stay the course. There is room for all sentient beings at this table, a collective potlatch set by our ancestral spirits. Breathe deeply. Scatter your wishes on the wind, and they will take root in ripe, fertile soil. Touch lives and lose any fear, and allow your words to ripen on tongue, piercing through imprisoned silence. Thank you. Blue skies part, the sun comes out. I'd like to see the stars. Blue skies part, the sun comes out. I'd like to see the stars. We all have wounds, all have wounds. We all have a wounded heart. So let's stay inside and play till the birds sing again. Heal our wounds, please our flesh, taste the ecstasy, and ride the line between pleasure and pain. It's all the same to me. We all have wounds, all have wounds. We all have a wounded heart. So light my fire and quench my desire. I won't say goodbye till the sunrise. Stay close to me. Heal our wounds, please our flesh. Taste the ecstasy. We all have wounds, all have wounds. We all have a wounded heart. Thank you.
Thank you, Grace. Next, we're going to hear from Angelina. Come on.
Okay. So I was just going to read a poem by someone else today, but then I found a short one in my purse that I wrote. So I'm going to read that first. It would be much too dangerous to talk about the mute reality of days. Thus, automatic answers act like talk for walls designed in rash deception's praise. Loud shadows cast upon their cold facades, though seeming humanoid to careless eyes, on stubborn inquiry confess, were frauds employed to mask humanity's vain cries. The rattling of a soul against life's chains, a plaintive call for empathy soon drowned in the reverberations of refrains as ancient as the falsehoods they compound. Divides will heal when time explains to youth a universal lie is not the truth. So this poem I did not write. It's by Rubén Darío. He's a Nicaraguan poet. And I'm going to read it first in Spanish so you get the idea for like the rhyme and assonance, and then I'll read a translation in English. Los ataca. Dichoso el árbol que es apenas sensitivo y más la piedra dura, porque esta ya no siente, pues no hay dolor más grande que el dolor de ser vivo, ni mayor pesadumbre que la vida consciente. Ser y no saber nada, y ser sin rumbo cierto, y el temor de haber sido y un futuro terror. Y el espanto seguro de estar mañana muerto, y sufrir por la vida y por la sombra, y por lo que no conocemos y apenas sospechamos, y la carne que tienta con sus frescos racimos, y la tumba que aguarda con sus fúnebres ramos, y no saber a dónde vamos, ni de dónde venimos. So this translation I kind of compiled from various translations I found online, and then I tweaked some of it because I didn't like what they had. So it's called That Which is Fatal. Blessed is the tree that hardly feels, and more so the hard stone, because it does not feel at all. Because there is no greater pain the pain of being alive, or greater affliction than conscious life. To be and to know nothing, and to be without a fixed course, and the fear of having been, and a future terror, and the reliable fear of being dead tomorrow, and to suffer because of life, and because of the shadow, and because of that which we do not know and hardly suspect, and the flesh that tempts with its fresh bunches of grapes, and the tomb that waits with its funeral wreaths, and to not know where we are going or where we came from.
I so enjoy hearing something read in the poet's native language and then translated. It's wonderful to hear both. For some time now, Chris was scheduling bilingual readings right next door here at Niche. So I'd love to see us have even more folks that are willing to do that, say coming in the fall. That would be really nice. So if you have some more poetry by that poet, you might be interested in bilingual reading there. Now we're going to hear from my favorite Herb Stokes. Come on, Herb.
Legacy. Hidden like shadows at midnight, knowing the weight of a sigh, yours is a face in the moonlight, forming the shape of goodbye. Time was but an instant, dazzled by the view, but forever distant, bitter, the essence of being.
Our next reader is James Scurry. James? Oh, you're James.
There you go. You want to try that? All right.
Let's welcome James. First time reading here.
Keep my balance.
Yeah.
Name of the poem is Loneliness. The peaks and the valleys, that like brains, bright lights, dark shadows, and other things. The thirst one has to share themselves, their life, their loves, with someone else. It's a tunnel of darkness with no light at the end. It's a failing search when you're seeking a friend. Loneliness. Loneliness affects your heart and mind, and it changes your thoughts and perceptions over a period of time. Alone and discarded is how one can feel. The soul is fractured, the heart is heavy, but in time they will heal. For everyone that's lonely, the heart pays a toll. Loneliness makes a young heart feel sick and old. And all the wonderful things, when once so much, oh, I'm sorry. Loneliness often has, when dreaming of compassion, passionship, happiness, and physical touch, and all the wonderful things, when once so much. It makes the heart crave attention of others, not simply for attention's sake, and answers to how to draw one closer. What does it take? Loneliness. It's empty and cold.
But for a short person here. We have one more open mic reader before our feature. We have two features tonight. Before our first feature, Stephanie Lennox. So let's hear from David. Is it Radich? Rodich. David, come on up. Is this your first time reading here? Great, so we got two first timers in a row. Let's hear it for them. Oh, sorry, I was after I said we can get down. Look right, there you go. Other way. Let's see, he's down there.
I'm going to chat a couple things that I wrote while living in New York, and trying to put them into a collection, maybe a chapbook that I'm calling The Pigeons in the Moon. And the first one's called Chopin. You know who's Frederick Chopin? The most famous man in the world. I'm from his village, the most beautiful place. Why are you here then? For money. I'm gonna grab one of them. I'm gonna get one of them, and if it's a lady, I'm gonna treat her like a man, because I don't live like that. Okay? Be good. Okay, see you. I begin my mornings on the roof. Feels like a great gag, like I must be rich. Sunglasses, music, hot water. The buildings all lean in their own direction, so I lean too. Tatters of claws seem to flag the looming pigeons, but our pigeons aren't flying yet. They just sit, braving the wind, taking the sun, like the buildings. In an hour or so, someone I can't see will blow a whistle I can't hear, and the birds will gather up and do a few laps on an invisible course. But if I miss that, I can just clap my hands later, and they'll do it again. Annoyed, but natural. You see this? You see this? Haha, you ain't saying nothing now. You ain't saying nothing. You complete me, Dolly boy. Slaps him on the back and everybody laughs. I didn't read the sign. The lady on the train, the little plump, fat thing wearing a babushka. Poor thing. Made that face. Please, she said. A girl whispered in my ear about her Dolce & Gabbana handbag, so when she came back around, I acted as she was offering me something instead of asking. No thanks, I said. I rather thought. I felt bad about it. Poppy, she says, and gestured me from the back of the line. If I have extra money, I tip her for the sandwich, and she smiles. Nice boots. Thanks. You look good. Thanks. She's got those tights on. Nearly every place on the street sells really expensive art or cheap food. Expensive clothes that look old, and cheap clothes that look new and fake. One after the other of laundromats and bodegas with an occasional old shop that's been in someone's family or at the community for 100 years. Places with a whole wall of doorknobs and brooms, garbage cans and picture hanging kits, racks of knockout t-shirts, fake plants. What the fuck? No, 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 no. Yeah, no. One hits the other. Teenagers beat the shit out of each other, pretend they're joking, say the word nigger a lot. An old black guy passed by them on Stanton, and I saw him shake his head and say the word to himself. Hung out there like a cloud, or a ghost as he disappeared. A hose, a broom, a whistle, drivers jockeying for spots. I swear, makes a punching motion referring to me. 2 for 1, take what you want. White guys carry bags of laundry on the street wearing hooded sweatshirts. 3 Asian girls have see-through dome umbrellas. They're waiting for something. A baseball cap, an umbrella being used as a cane, a distant yell. What is that? You didn't, did you? Oh, tell me you didn't shit your pants again? Damn it, that stinks. You don't got no money for the homeless, do you? Top of the world, top of the... fuck it. I watched the pigeons and the girls and the cars as they turned. The business suits, ponytails and tattoos. Fuck you. Have a nice night. There's something here, you can breathe it in and out. A Brazilian flag, an Argentinian, a light blue t-shirt, a storm on the horizon, clotheslines on fire escapes 100 years ago, vendors, supers, confident walks. Everyone is more talented and has much more experience, has nicer clothes. A big, bald, aged man checks his watch. It's the end of the day for working people that use their hands and sweat a bit outside, but for plenty of others who bang on keyboards and talk about their guitars, it's just the start of the day. Smoke a cigarette, take a picture and slam a window shut. Prune the flowers. She looks at the sky to decide if she'll water them, shouts at her kids. The guy smokes another cigarette, checks the bar across the street, an empty bucket of silence at this hour. Then a throng of teenage girls from the school down the block all erupt together, reaffirming their long-running joke, while a car with the system bumps and disappears. Hey, Mike, how you doing? Oh, hey, Frank. Hey. You gonna give me an A+, buddy? Fuck off. It's a great place to start. Come here. See that building? Put that on our tour. That was Charlie Parker's place. No, that one. No, you idiot. Trust me. Hey, we're not trying to get the cover of Fitness magazine. We're just trying to stay in the game. I'd be offended. If that was my child, I'd be offended. Well, I thought it was quite nice, really. There's a stillness in the soup. The heat. Again. Another morning. No one wants to wake up to this. You can see it in their eyes. No one wants to take another step. On the subway platform, it's 150 degrees. We all turn to vapor and move like ghosts in slow motion. It's the truest taste of the city, though, because our molecules fall apart, and so do the molecules of the centuries of grime on the walls and floors and support beams. And some of our molecules turn to grime, and some of the grime becomes us. It made sense when we took mushrooms. I wanted to be in the city, walking with people. We're like a family here. We all hate each other and love the idea of sharing this place. A lady picks a book out of a pile on the street and flips through it. A shiny-head Yugo yells across the street to his buddy. Looks like my friend Semi. Looks like he's about to drink 10 or 12 beers. A frizzy-haired girl walks by. She's gorgeous. A little kid rides a bike with no shirt on. The dad talks on the phone, paces back and forth on the sidewalk. Fight it out, grab a drink. It won't fit through the door. The dad decides he wants to ride it. The little kid stands on the pegs, grabs hold of his father's wife beater. He falls off and the dad pedals away laughing. Then the kid gets back on and holds on for real.
Oh, we're calling out food? Katie, your order is ready. Now everybody knows that you eat. It's okay, we all need to eat. One of the reasons why I should occasionally go to Portland is because of the great series called Figures of Speech at In Other Words Books over there, hosted by Steve Williams and Constance Hall, who are here with us tonight, who have to win some kind of Most Valuable Player award for being at the most readings, no matter what is going on in their lives. Every time I go to a reading, they're there. Every reading I've ever done, they've been there to support me. And so anyway, they have impeccable taste, and if you go to their series, you will be exposed to these amazing writers. And the way that I was first exposed to